Good evening, my friends. I want to come at you with a quick little review and a chat. Kind of do a two-in-one thing. So, hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. And Wednesday got in a little package from our friends at Sutliff, and I want to say many thanks to John for allowing us to participate in this. I don't know if this is going to wrap it up or not. Don't know what's coming next, if anything, but thank you, John, for letting us participate in this deal. It was a lot of fun. This particular blend, I think there were 5 that came, but this particular one I've been waiting with patiently with bated breath for this one for a long time. Never tried it before, and it's one of those that y'all know when I get excited about one, I got to share it with y'all, with my friends, and tell you about it. And this is one I'm excited about, and it's called Kentucky Planter. And it says soft and aromatic blend of all AAA Burleys. AAA Burleys, up until 1864, they used mostly red Burleys. The sliders. Just filled it up, and I may have wet the wick on it. I mean the flint. I'm seriously thinking about going back to a butane pipe lighter. Butane, the flint, and the whole deal was everything. Anyway, up until 1864, they used red Burleys, and of course the Civil War was they were deep into that about that time, and apparently seeds were short, and a guy named George Webb, I think, bought up a bunch of seeds, and anyway, the new variety was a white Burley, and supposedly, it's a premium type Burley, and this truly is reflective of that. This is one of the best Burleys I've ever smoked. I'll give y'all a glimpse of what it looks like here. Get it fired back up. I've already smoked most of this bowl. I'm smoking this in a pipe that I won from Mark and Amber. It's a little Danish made Plateau. And I've enjoyed one this several months back, and I've enjoyed it. But here's what we're looking at. This is a fluffy, very airy, and when you look in that can, there ain't no doubt that you're dealing with Burley. And when you smell it, you know right away. You could have your eyes closed. It could be a blind test, and you could tell it was a Burley. It's not. It doesn't have that. It's not a super tin note like a good aromatic, but it's for a Burley. It smells to me good. Burleys are, they're nothing that just jump out at you. But as far as Burleys goes, I can't find a thing wrong with it, so I got to give it a 5. Room note. Now, room note, I was smoking it in front of a friend the other day, and he said, what kind of tobacco is that you're smoking? And, of course, I didn't know if it was a good or bad ask, and I said, well, it's a Sutliff private stock brand. He smokes cigarettes, but I said it's called Kentucky Planter, and he said, man, that smells good. And, of course, I did the walk out, come back test, and if you're in a room and you're smoking, and I've said this before, I'm not to sound redundant, but I'll tell you again, they say, and it works really well, if you're smoking a pipe and you want to get an idea of the room note yourself, as soon as you lay the pipe down, walk outside and get you, for about a minute, breathe in some fresh air. For about a minute, come back in, and you can detect a true room note. Where you're sitting in there, you can smell it a little bit, but you've kind of gotten used to it. You got to go out and breathe in some fresh air and come back. I did that, loved it. My wife and I were in the truck Sunday going down the road, and I fired it up. And she said, what is that you're smelling? And I can tell by the tone of her voice if it's good or bad, and I knew I had a good one there. I said, well, it's called Kentucky Planter. She said, I like that. She said, that's good. And so this is a solid 5 on the room notes. You won't get any complaints with this one. This is one you can smoke around people and not worry about it. Flavor, I like a good burley. I smoke a burley light from MA's is my favorite. I keep it on hand a lot. And I'm not sure, it may be a lane limited burley light, no bite. You know, I kind of got a feeling it is. I don't know. I've never tried the lane limited burley light, no bite. You know, half and half is an old standard, and it's a burley. It's got light, and I don't know, it's 2 different burleys in it, and it's a decent one for a little over the counter. And there's several other blends that's got burleys in it, but I like a straight burley once in a while. When you get a craving for it, it's like craving a straight Virginia. Nothing else will fit it. Or if you're craving Latakia or Oriental, when you want it, nothing else will satisfy it. Well, like I say, I've been looking forward to this Kentucky Planter for a while, and I just had a feeling it was going to be good, and it truly is. I like it. Flavor, you can taste the nuttiness of the burleys and the creaminess. It's none of it's which is overpowering. This could be an all-day smoke. This could be one you could take with you, and you know, if you're inclined to like burleys, this is one you could smoke all day and not have a problem. Like I say, I like it. Flavor is a solid 5. Smokability, I really hate to get into price. Sometimes I do, but I will mention price under the smokability section. It's pipesandcigars.com have had these on sale for a long time in the $6, I think $6.10 for this size 10, and you can't beat that. I can buy them locally through a little store here. It's a discount tobacco convenience store type deal, and it's $10 a 10. He don't carry all brands. He may carry this one, I don't know, but he carries several of the blends and of Sutliff, and I can buy it there if I need to for $10. You know, and if you just need 110, you can't order the freight's minimum, $9 unless you spend around $100 for it. But even at $10, it's a good value for this, good bang for the buck on this. Now, as far as burning hot, I'm noticing a little bit of heat in this, but not a little warmth. It certainly hasn't burned hot. I've smoked several bowls and several pipes. I haven't had a terrible problem at all. It's not a cased, heavy cased tobacco. You're not going to get any serious. You may have a little bit of warmth, and that's normal. I mean, you've got coals in there, but you're not going to have a big burn problem. No tongue bite. I have noticed no tongue bite with it, and some people say they get them with burleys. I don't, and I don't with this one. And I truly enjoy this smoke, like I say. So no tongue bite, burns relatively cool. The only drawback in the smokability part of it, and it hasn't been in this pipe as bad. That's the first time I smoked in this pipe, but it's a little harder to keep lit. You've got to really be sure that bowl is packed. There is no room for, it's got to be, it can't be too loose or too tight. If it's too tight at all, you're going to have an issue keeping this one lit for sure. But it's tended to do better in this pipe. And this is a big bowl pipe. A lot of room in here. But I like this, and smokability is a good 4. And overall, this thing's going to come in real close to a 5. This is one I will keep. This will hang on my rotation. I'll keep this in the Burley Light from MA's as my go-to burleys. And I get to wanting a burley every now and then, and this will certainly satisfy that craving. So y'all be sure and try some of this Kentucky Planter. Went to a funeral today. We had a guy, a business associate that spent a lot of years in the convenience store business, and this gentleman he was in it all his life, kind of like I was, grew up in the gasoline business and whatnot, and had several stores like I did around town, and my last store was a Chevron, and that's what he was buying from the same company, and he was selling Chevron fuel at just one he's got now, or had. Thanksgiving morning, got up walking his dog, and they think he apparently had a heart attack. So a couple of 3 weeks before that, he'd gotten some extensive testing done, checkup, and got a clean bill of health. The doctor told him he was very healthy, no problem. So they're just stunned, and of course they did an autopsy to try to, they want to find out what happened, whether it was just an aneurysm, and that's unfortunately something like that is probably not easily detected in a routine checkup. And, they did the blood work, did all the treadmill, and he was 51 years old. So it just goes to show we're not promised tomorrow. Boy, I'm 48 years old, and wasn't too many years ago I thought 51 was old as heck. Boy, it sure don't look like it now. In my mind, I still think like I still feel 18, but my body tells me a whole lot different. But boy, the temperature we got up in the 70s today here, and 71, I think. Last week it was high up in the 30s, low 40s. At night it was down in the 20s. With a chill factor one night got down to 14 chill factor. So, but that's Louisiana weather for you. Stay around a day or two and it'll change on you. It'll go from one extreme to the other. But I enjoyed living here because we haven't had real hard winters in the last several years, but they're predicting a tough one this year, so we'll see. And it really wouldn't hurt to have a good hard freeze several, because get rid of some of these doggone bugs, these insects, and you got to have a good freeze to get rid of those. But I fixed the stem on this pipe today, a while ago, not too long ago. This thing was loose as a goose, and I had put beeswax on it, and that worked for a while, but it's something you got to do periodically. So I took the stem out, and I just turned it, held a big lighter under it, and just turned it. I did it for about 25 seconds, not directly on it, but underneath it. And then I took it and ran it under the faucet for about 10 or 15 seconds, cooled it down real quick, dried it off, stuck it in, and it fit like a glove. I mean, it's just like it was. I was going to try to do this one. My son got me this little Erickson Dublin. I love this pipe. You see how it's spaced here. And this thing is loose. I got it tightened. The tenon, this part should be in this. And the only way I got it out before was put it in the freezer for a few minutes, and it popped right out. But I'm afraid to do the heat on this one. I'm going Friday to Lafayette to get the boudin stuff, the making for the boudin balls we're going to do this weekend. And the guy down at Piper's Haven is going to fix it for me. I'd rather gamble and spend $10 or $12 with him because this thing's got so much sentimental value to it. I don't want to mess it up. So while we're loading up, I'm going to drop it off. He said it wouldn't take him long, and on the way back out, I'll stop and pick it up and pick up some more 7 Seas McBaron from him, so I can stock up, and look at some more of his blends. But anyhow, y'all, I'm getting into the 14.5-minute range. We're going to shut her down. Hope y'all had a great Thanksgiving. We had a good one. Now we got to get ready for Christmas, but y'all take care, and we'll catch you later. God bless you.